not sure. So I called Cynthia, and to me it was still 4,000, but then another employee spoke up and said she was at the meeting and that she had heard 2,000.
Which
That's
they
right.
did, but it was about the line, not the
Yeah,
application.
the sewer line up to
The 216.
So,
That would be a clerical
So
error.
basically, it's a clerical error.
Yeah, the council control.
Does the council have the legal power to reduce the tap fee for one person?
Y'all do, y'all have the power to do, that's what I don't know.
But I thought our water rate and our tap fees were all structured that way.
Your water, that is how they're structured.
So, but under an ordinance, we couldn't lower it legally.
Well, you can waive it, because y'all can waive any kind of fees y'all want to. And that's what the standard fee is, so y'all got to decide what you're gonna do. But that is part of why it's set aside, is because tap fees get paid by.
Would it set a legal precedent if a clerical error caused us to waive the fee for one person?
I don't believe it does, I think it's an isolated incident, but other people may ask for it, that wouldn't keep other people from asking for it. But it's not a legal precedent, no, in terms of, there's differing circumstances with him, obviously, because of the location of the line.
Those were the questions.
Okay, any more
But it's up to
discussion?
y'all.
Okay,
Well, I was gonna ask what's gonna keep you from lowering, somebody else comes in here and asks you to lower theirs, what's gonna, how y'all gonna explain that you lowered his and it's not gonna lower theirs?
good question. We're fixing to vote and see if we've got to be faced with that situation. All in favor of, lowering, Mr. Williams' tap fee to $2,000, signify by saying aye. All opposed?
I'm gonna abstain because the
Okay.
clarification
Got
is still.
1, 2, 3, 4 for it and 1 abstaining. Okay, Mr. Joe, it stays at 4, sir. Okay, new business, Terrace Apartment opening a food bank.
The what? People voted that I paid for.
Yes, sir, they,
Who
nobody,
voted that you voted?
Miss,
everybody voted right here, and we had 1 abstention. Okay, so Mr. Terrace, Terrace,
Right. And, you are my, district. And,
okay,
if I hadn't been here and heard what I heard, and Mr. Barker would not have wrote it up if it wasn't on his tape.
yes, sir, Mr.
It's on his tape,
Mr. Joe.
and if I have to, I will bring a tape in here.
The council has already voted, sir.
Well,
Item 5 on the agenda, thank you, sir. Terrace Apartment
I
opening a
will,
food
I will
bank.
come back.
Okay,
This is not fair.
Mr. Apartment, you're next, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's,
How's everyone doing?
Doing great, sir.
My name is Terrence Parkland. I'm with the United Diocese Foundation and City Council. Pleasure to talk to you. I'm not gonna waste much of your time. I'm trying to start a food bank in Temple, Georgia. I feel there is a need, I'm sure there is a need for some help for some people that need some help. What I'm trying to do is trying to see if the city has a location that I can utilize per the Atlanta Food Bank, which will help me with this. I need to have space, and I'm a resident in Temple. I've been here for 15 years, but this is just a passion of what I'm trying to work with in my organization. And I was hoping that the city could look at some options or some locations that you may have had or you may have that we can possibly use to just for storage. Just a place that has climate control that we can just use somewhere. I'm sure there's somewhere in Temple. I know you have different places. I know you have a budget. I know you have problems and other issues, but I'm just trying to see if I can build something in our city and get this community involved. I mean, it doesn't have to be a church. And right now, everything I've done is from my own pocket, out of me. I've sent this document some time ago. I don't know if anyone has a copy of it that I forwarded to you, but hopefully we have a chance to look at the website that I designed. I write Grant, but I just need an opportunity, and what I'm trying to do is just do something for the community. And if there's any location, I had another question in regards to some programs that I have. If no one's had an opportunity to look at the website, but is the question I have is for the high school. You just completed the tennis court and the baseball field, and I was just trying to see if it's something that I can utilize for some of the kids that I have with my programs, that we can utilize that space, or is that just private because it's the city and it belongs only to the,
That's the school. That's the school system.
it belongs to the county? So I have to go through the county, and that's
County
Carroll
school
County.
system.
Carroll County, yes.
School system.
So, school system, exactly. And I had another question in regards to me being able to do things because I have wristbands, t-shirts, and it's just for donations, just to help me move to the next level, because it's kind of hard because some people want to help but not many do. But what I wanted to ask was, is there a permit that I need to require in order to, and I noticed that I might have to go from county to county in order to get these permits, but is in the city of Temple, if I wanted to do something at the local high school or at one of the parks that we have here, you know, do I need an event permit in order for me to do that? Because I wanted to invite you and your family on a family day, and what we're doing is we're doing a 5K walk, and you know, and giving out water, and you know, we're talking. We have some people from Tanner, and we have some people from Wellstar and local physicians for the raffle clinic. You know, they've spoken with me and they like what I'm doing. But the thing is if I had that opportunity, what is it that I need to do also with that? That's another question. But yes.
Ms. Lady, would you need a permit?
Well, I'm not really sure what it is you're doing for a 5K. You'd need to go through the police department if you're doing a 5K here in town. Obviously, I don't know where that's planned, but in terms of, are you doing event? I don't really understand what it is you're
Like if I
saying.
wanted to do like an event, like a 5K walk, you know, get the community involved, adults, seniors, youth.
You'd need to come up and see Mr. Crawford during the daytime. Mr. Crawford's right here. He's our city administrator. And he can get you hooked up with the right people, and you can talk to him about it, what permits you would need. They'd go through the city administrator.
So what you want to know is, does the city have any city-owned programs for storage space, or do we have any ideas to refer you to go ask other people?
Both.
Exactly, both?
First is the city, if you have anything, any structure that, hopefully through donations, through my own resources, that I can keep it going. But the question would be, is there some other resources that someone can lead me to? Because again, like I tell someone, your money doesn't mean much to me because your knowledge means more, because you can lead me to the right direction of somebody that wants to give, not just wants to think about helping me. But at the same time, yes, I would love to have a location if it was in.
Reached out to any of the churches in the surrounding areas yet?
Not
Because they have to do things.
really, and Bremen is the only one that I went to, and I applied for, you know, the food bank because I'm still under a certain income, and what I did is get the experience of what I'm dealing with and what I'm gonna go through. But I know in order for me to get food from the Atlanta Food Bank, who were partnering up with me in Temple, they tell me that I need a certain criteria. And the one thing is the location. And if I have to go to Villa Rica, I'll talk to them in Villa Rica also, but I'm a resident here for 15 years. You can look at my water bill and see.
My just personal suggestion would be possibly to start with some of the churches and cities. I mean, as you can tell right now, we're a little cramped in this immediate building, and we've got some storage issues at different buildings where I know that different departments are needing storage. I would maybe start with some of the churches to see if we get a church to partner and then come back, maybe.
That's a road I've been traveling on. It's not yellow brick, so it's not like something that, but it's something that I will continue to proceed and pursue. But yeah, I'm just looking for advice. Maybe any of the council people, members, the mayor. You know, we all are citizens. We all have to look out for. one thing I called up here and someone told me 27% of the seniors are the ones that's paying their own water bill. And there's things that we can do. I mean, this organization I'm trying to build is bigger, but this little entity that I'm talking about is just as big as what I'm trying to grow. And for me to come in with throwing bombardment of ideas, it's not what I'm here to do. I just need a location. I just need a location. And if I can start from a ground, I can't do it from my house. I don't want to do it from my house. I'm not going to do it from my house. But yes, it's
See, Mr. Hartman, both the churches around, Baptist, Methodist, Lutheran, Christian, you know, they tried this food bank too, an area of churches, so you might talk with them about that too. Mr. Bracken.
I was also thinking about, what is Helping Lazarus over on Highway 78? Have you seen that when it's you know, it's like half a mile from here? And that's their whole project out there, and it might be, they have space that's already approved and the whole bit. But it might be something as far as tying in and helping them or some kind of joint venture with them. Because they've got a lot of space out there. And they're constantly, you know, raising money for, I don't think theirs is a food bank, but they might be willing to kind of tie back into that. That would be a place to, yeah, that would be a place to start. That they might can give you some suggestions or might be willing to work with you.
yes. Well, that's pretty much what I came for. I have other ideas, and I'll be back again. But yes, I appreciate
Very
it.
worthwhile.
I appreciate you doing it.
Would you mind if I pass your business, man?
Oh, absolutely not.
All right, appreciate that. Ma'am, if you don't mind. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Mr. David Henson, you're on next, sir.
I'm up next, huh?
Uh-huh.
How are you?
Doing good, sir.
I'm gonna start off, you guys look good tonight. I'm gonna leave here happy tonight regardless how y'all vote on this. I'm just gonna explain myself from what I saw. I think I know why the decision was made exactly the way it was made. So I'm gonna explain myself, give a couple of different ways that I think we can remedy this. And if it doesn't work out, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna be happy with myself. So I guess it all came into question when my pay stubs in January showed that at the time that I left, I would have accrued 289 hours, 289.52 hours vacation time the time I left the city. Then I guess there was some decision made that there was maybe something in our room book or a personnel book. I'm sure it is. I'm not going to say it's not in there because I didn't read it, you know the truth. But it's a rule that has never been enforced in all the time that I've been here on how much you can accrue. My argument, I guess, became immediately that it's on my pay stub. It's on several pay stubs. It's just kind of accrued. And I can even go back to January of last year where it was way over what this new rule is. And I guess it caught me off guard that when I left here, I was in fact not being paid for all the time that was written on my pay stub that I had accrued with the city. And I saw this commercial on TV just to make it a little bit lighthearted about this One More Day campaign they're doing in one of the cruise lines. And this kid says something about how many millions of days every year of vacation time are not used and wasted. And this little girl looks up and says, "That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard." Well, it's a true story. It's a stupid thing. I think I should have used it when I was here, the difference between what was paid and what was not paid. So I guess just to clarify what council, I'm saying, it was there, it was gone. I I can't explain exactly why it was gone. And see if you guys had the heart or felt like it should be paid, or if you felt like it shouldn't be paid. I do have, if it's against the rules to pay it because it's in a personnel book, I have other options. I'm still the class 1 wastewater operator on record at the wastewater plant. There's a discharge monitoring report due on the 15th of this month to the EPD that needs to be signed by a class 1 operator. We can turn this in as consulting fees.
Down.
Sure, anyone?
What did we pay you for?
Huh?
What did we pay you for? What was the rest?
Yeah. Somebody wants some humor. 181.
So you got how many approved?
The difference between what you paid and what you didn't pay is approximately $3,151.85. Give or take. Yep. That's for 108.46 hours you're gonna pay.
How are we gonna be charged for you to help us with the, filling out of the paperwork now?
Well, I mean, I put a bunch of years and time and effort, and there's, he showed me this. I would take a poll on employees and send me in the register book, but it's never been enforced in previous years, I guess, was my concern. Yeah, I put a lot of years in. I agreed that I would want to help. I would want to assist. Like we said in the meeting here a couple of weeks ago, or whatever they read the minutes on, they still need money over there. They still need help over there. I don't mind helping those guys. I've been there 4 times in the 2 weeks that I've been gone. I've answered phone calls. I've answered questions. There was a situation that could have turned real ugly where a resident was involved in something going on over there, and I remedied that by telephone. I don't mind helping. I don't mind training somebody else, but you know, I feel like if I've had money taken out, it's going to be hard to do that.
How much are your consulting fees?
Well, for the first month, it's $3,151.85. For additional months, we can, I'm not sure, $200 a week to keep operating in my name, and to go by and do a plant check and make sure everything's running the way it's supposed to run tests that need to be run over there, and sign off on the reports that everything's being done correctly. $200 a week is pretty fair.
Anybody else got any discussion for Mr. Henson? Yes, ma'am.
I know that in your position, to over there, I did see what you did, and I also understand that it was very hard for you to use vacation time at times because you were the only one there. And I do, so when I say this, I want you to understand, I do appreciate that, and I do understand that. As a council member, however, in February, when these payouts and it not being followed was brought up, it was brought up when someone received more than what they were allowed to take out. Or questions were actually raised at the February-March meeting that someone who couldn't take all they had coming shared some with someone else. And where the city is at the moment is that $12,700 of the fees that we're paying for a forensic audit at this moment that came out of those questions we were asking about employees being paid out of vacation time, what may or may not have been accrued, or whether the paycheck stub showed that it carried over, and whether or not that was in line with the adopted policy. And that one of the things that was given to us when we voted for that is that they would review and analyze vacation, sick, and holiday accrual and time taken to determine the compliance with that policy and with employee contracts. So knowing that that's one of the things that we have agreed to let someone from outside come in and investigate.
Right.
Knowing it was a question that we put forward, these payouts are not lining up with policy. the council did not choose to change that handbook or policy. And what was actually in the handbook, 'cause I'd asked for it the first time, and what was given, now this is what was given to me